Hi everyone, today on Reviews with Ryan at River Ridge, I want to start by saying huge thanks to Corey who contacted me with that intro graphic. Isn't that awesome? Anyway, today I want to talk about bike transportation, i.e. all of us want to ride our mountain bikes on the trails. Most of us can't ride our mountain bikes to the trails. So what is the best and easiest way for you to get your bike to the trailhead so you can then go and do some mountain biking? I feel like I have a pretty good experience and authority to speak on this subject. Not only am I a 25-year plus enthusiast of mountain biking, I am a 20-year plus veteran of the car industry. I have owned a bunch of different vehicles and transported bikes in all of them. So today we're going to talk about specifically driving them in the back of a pickup truck. That is what I'm doing right now. I have my pickup truck Dino that you've seen in a few of our videos, and I have a tailgate pad that makes it quick and easy to transport the bikes. It's very fast to load 4 bikes. One of the big pros is that it doesn't matter what kind of bike it is. If it's a road bike, if it's any kind of bike, you just slap it on there. I've even hauled a trike in the back of my truck with another bike. So huge pro with that. I also am always ready to throw a bike in the back of my truck. If I get a call from my wife that she needs a ride home, I can pick her up no problem. So I don't have to carry anything extra on the vehicle. It's just always ready to go, other than, of course, the tailgate pad itself. Other pros and cons, if you're planning on using it for a bunch of bikes, we've got 4 here, and apparently you can even get a few more in. You do have to be careful. One of them at least is going to hang over and contact your tail light. So if you have an older used truck like mine, no big deal. But if it's a newer truck, maybe you don't want that. The other thing I learned just today when we were moving bikes over for this, studded tires. There will always be contact, at least a little bit, between the bikes, and I've scratched my fork pretty badly just today with this studded tire. So be really, really careful if you're transporting bikes with studded tires. All right, one of the things I almost forgot that you really want to think about when you're thinking about how you want to transport your bikes is security. And one of the big cons of using a tailgate pad to move your bikes around is that they are not locked in place. They're strapped in, but literally if someone wanted to, they could jump into the back of your truck at a red light and take your bike away. So I don't love that, especially when you're stopping for gas. My solution to that for when I'm stopped is that I always carry a U-lock inside my vehicle with a cable that I can run through one of the tie downs in the truck. I don't ever leave it on the bike while I'm driving because I don't want it rattling around and damaging the bike, but at least it's with me all the time. But it's a hassle. The fuel economy does drop a little bit when I've got bikes in the back of the vehicle. I lose about 10% fuel economy in my truck on the highway with bikes in the back versus having it totally flat. So another big pro with trucks is that you don't have to do it like this. You don't have to use a tailgate pad. Pretty much every truck has a trailer hitch, and so you can get a hitch rack. Most trucks you can get roof racks for. You can also get racks to hold the forks in place. So if you want the tailgate pad as a quick solution just for ripping out to River Ridge or across town to drop your bike off at the shop or whatever, and then something a little bit more secure for a longer drive, that's an option. There you go. Now, in terms of specifics, I have a Thule tailgate pad. I got it when I bought my truck a couple of years ago, and I don't like it. And I want to talk a little bit about why. That it doesn't do a very good job holding the bikes steady. And so that becomes a really big problem with a couple of things. You'll notice when you use a dropper bar bike, you've got to be careful because if the bike falls over, it will contact the one beside it, and I have damaged most of my bikes in this fashion. So, it just doesn't do a great job with that. The other thing, and I knew this, I saw reviews on that before I bought the Thule tailgate pad, is that the straps don't go small enough to hold the bike down. So basically the combination of a lack of pads here to hold the bike upright and a strap that's too loose mean that the bikes move around a lot more than I'd like, especially driving on the gravel to River Ridge. I have noticed when I went on their website, the Thule Tailgate Pro has been redesigned since I bought this a couple of years ago, $250 for the new design, and it looks like it might do a better job than the one that I have. So is there a better option? I think there is. I want to show you the Raceface. All right, so this is Logan's Raceface T2. Big thanks to Logan for letting me borrow it for a couple of days. The T2 is available either larger for a half-ton truck or a little bit smaller for a Tacoma like we see here. There is also a half-size one that you can have for just a couple of bikes if you don't want to cover up the whole thing, so you do have some options there. The T2 retails for $220. at our friends at Atlas's store in Warman, so go check that out. And so what I like better about Logan's tailgate pad than I do about mine, there's a few things. One, you'll notice right away, there's this deep padding with deep channels here, and that's on both sides. And so it should do a better job holding the bike more upright than it otherwise would. Also, the top of it, there's some straps to adjust the width. So if it's a thinner tailgate pad, like an older Tacoma, or a thicker tailgate, like the newer Tacomas, you can adjust it that way, which I like. Now, credit where credit's due, the Thule does do one thing I think a little bit better. The cover up for the camera is always built in and always there. It's just one quick thing to go over. There's a removable piece that we can put in here to cover the whole thing, but you gotta keep that somewhere. So all in all, I think this is a much better choice. I know that Craig has a Fox tailgate pad. Apparently it's a similar design. He really likes that one quite a lot. His is actually the half-size one, so it works well for him. And I know some of the other brands also look similar. I don't have experience with them. I have experience with these two. So I like the Raceface. I want to see the new Thule, but I'm not a fan of the one that I have now. So that is Reviews with Ryan at River Ridge. Thanks for tagging along, and we'll see you again soon.